What's up, everyone? As you can see, I'm actually in a different car. I'm in my friend Stephanie's vehicle, well, one of her vehicles, because both of mine are now broken. Yesterday, I was on my way to go see the new Target collection to explore it with you guys, possibly talk about some really cool DIY projects. We're gonna recreate some Target stuff, okay? So I wanted to go and explore it, kind of see it in person, show you guys, and then go back home, and we're gonna make some stuff. Anyways, on my way to Target yesterday, my car broke down on the side of the highway. It was like a whole ordeal, took up my whole day. It was just, so here we are, fresh new day. Thank you, shout out to Stephanie. Let's all comment below and say thank you, Stephanie, for letting David borrow your Trailblazer, because honey, now I'm able to go to Target. I did put some gas in it, and then hopefully I'll get my Jeep fixed and I'll be able to drive that until I find a new car. All right, so until then, let's go ahead and hop into Target. I gotta bring my awesome cup that Stephanie got me for my birthday. Little Starbucks moment, okay? So let's go into Target and explore the new Studio McGee collection for the fall 2021. Okay, let's go. So we are here today at Target. We are going to be looking at some of the new stuff in the Studio McGee line with Threshold. I'm super excited. These are just some lamps I'm showing you guys I really like this wood, as well as this brass one is really, really nice. Oh, I love this brass one. It's only $10. So even though I am over with the Threshold line, I am going to be checking out Joanna Gaines' stuff as well, just to kind of see what Hearth and Hand is offering us. These are cute, however, I personally wouldn't spend $5 on a small little bottle like this. I'd rather just get a large one. These ones right here were really cute because it comes with the faux floral in it. And they were pretty much the same price. It was $1 more. So I probably would get that just because it has something in it. So as we're here today at Target, we're going to be exploring some of the things that they're offering. And we're going to go back home and do some DIY projects. And we're going to see what we can recreate with the stuff I got from Dollar Tree as well as Hobby Lobby. And just make our own decor. We're basically duping the stuff from Target. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm loving all of their linen that they have. Doesn't this look familiar? I did do a dupe on something similar to this. I painted a landscape and did a brass frame. That was in my collaboration video. If you haven't checked that out, I will link that down below. I'm absolutely loving this art piece here. It looks so easy. We could totally recreate something like this. So this is something I'm possibly considering. We'll see what I do at the very end. So let's keep moving on. This could be something we could totally dupe. Look at the texture on there. That would be so fun to recreate. And I really, really like this as well. I love this basket. I think it is so cute. It has so much texture. This would be great to like hang up in your entryway. Put some blankets hanging out of it, some flowers, whatever. I love this pot as well. I'm just loving everything in this line so far. So this one just looks like a cement with just some like white stripe type pattern on it. That was really nice for $30. And of course I gravitate towards blankets. This one was screaming my name. I did not pick it up though, just because I have a lot of blankets and I actually just got a new one in this line and it wasn't that one, but I love, 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 love the texture. This was the one I did pick up, though. I absolutely loved it. It had this really cute window pane pattern, so I had to get that one. I know we're on a mission for duping decor, but I wanted to show you guys this chair because I absolutely love this chair. I love the pinstripe pattern on it, the colors. It's gorgeous, especially like with all the stuff that she is offering in the line. It's just so... This... I don't know. I don't like it. It's a piece of wood, but I just don't like it. Look at this. This basket's really cute. This might be something we could dupe. I don't know, like put two baskets together. This is also something that, you know, just paint on a canvas. I mean, how hard can that be? This is cute. Not sure how I would make it. I don't know. It's like made of like a soapstone or something like that. And I really liked this brass vase. I thought this was super cute. This could totally be something we could dupe. $15. It's not terrible, but we could totally make it cheaper. I might have to find something at the thrift store, though, is what I'm thinking. Maybe not Dollar Tree, per se. I also really liked this brass tray. I thought it was super cute. Not entirely sure how I would dupe that one either, but I don't know. Ideas are flowing through my brain, okay? Loving this brass. I think it just warms up your space. It gives you that fall that you want without going crazy. Love this marble tray. Very heavy. Oh my gosh. $40 is worth it because it's so heavy. But with marble products, I feel like they would definitely stain if you like spilled a drink on that. So I wouldn't buy it because I know I would ruin it. I like this wooden bowl. It's only $25. It's a nice size. Nice wood color. I like this vase as well. This one's $30. I feel like we could maybe dupe that. I don't know. I'd have to find like a similar shape. There's that one again we saw. I love that one. What else can we dupe? So after I looked at the last part of the collection, I moved back over to Joanna Gaines' stuff just to look at it. I really loved this wood color. Like the color is nice. It's like a medium brown. I don't know. I love the wood color on that. This like darker cherry tone doesn't really spark joy for me. Another really great option is to pick up one of these right here. They're only $4. It's just a flour sack towel. You could turn this into a pillow. So I did that on my channel a while back. I made 3 different ones. But now they have new ones, so I might pick up this one here. I don't know. We'll see. I wanted to pop over into the Jungalow collection just to take a peek at what they have, because I know a lot of us do different styles. This one's more on the boho side. I really like her stuff, but I'm trying to get away from so much boho just because I did a boho overload on my channel last year, and now I'm kind of tired of it. So this basket was cute, however it was missing a handle. Oh, there it is. Yeah, no, I'm not paying $25 for a broken basket, but I do like this basket. If it was fully intact, I could glue it, but I ain't doing all that. This shape of it was really cute. I just didn't care for the blue. I thought it was like screaming at me. I don't know. Too blue for me. What do you guys think? Alright, so now we are going to be heading on over to Hobby Lobby, and they have 50% off on a lot of stuff right now. I figured I could pick some of these up because I really like the dainty little flowers. The color is really nice. I feel like it fits that vibe that we're going for. So I did pick up 4 stems of these. They're only $5.99, but remember, half off. So I think I only paid $12 for all 4 of them. I did want to point out Hobby Lobby does have several different large pots. These were really big. For $12.99, which isn't bad, you could totally paint over these and make your own texture. Do whatever you need to do to create that high-end look that we just kind of saw at Target. However, I feel like you might as well just buy the ones at Target. So this was not really a good route for me to DIY something. I think you'd find a better, or I guess I should say cheaper option at a thrift store. But I thought some of these were priced fairly well, and you could just find something in this section that is similar to what you're looking for at Target and just call it a day. You don't need to upcycle these because they're brand new. I think that this right here on its own looks good. Like, this was only $35. I thought it was a really good deal. Like how tall it is. Now I found these that are $2, but Dollar Tree has them for $1. They're pretty much the same size. So if you go up in size, it goes up in price. But you could totally get one of these to maybe dupe one of those vases. I did find one this similar shape, like style, at the thrift store for around $3. And it was like a medium size one, so I got a better deal at the thrift store.
I love the shape of this one. Like, look at this mirror.
This mirror is so cute. I feel like this is something you would definitely see in that Target line we just looked at, the threshold line. But the price was so outrageous. $129. This one was $60, and it was a little bit smaller. So I'm like, what? But you got to keep in mind, they do that 50% off, so you can find a good deal when you do the 50% off days on the certain items. I did find some really, really nice cotton floral. It's like this classic floral pattern. It's so pretty. I figured I could pair this up, like just get half a yard, and it was on sale, like 30% off, and get half a yard of a different color. This really pretty sage stripe. I really, really like that fabric as well. So I figured I could pair these two together and make my own pillowcase. I just wanted to show you guys the number and everything in case you wanted to copy the same fabric. I think I want to do a rust color as well because that kind of goes with the fall, and I think it's not like screaming orange or something like these I don't like. So I did find this really cute kind of like corduroy textured or velvety texture, I'm not really sure, of this fabric. I'm going to show you here in a second. But first, you want to make sure you always check that clearance section. You can always find really good deals, especially if you find something like this. But honestly, that was too pricey. I put it back. Here's a different one that's like more of a linen texture. Love the color, only $2. You could totally make a pillowcase out of this. Alright, so here is the rusty color I found. This texture is nice. Like I said, it feels like velvety, but it's like corduroy. I wanted to point out, Hobby Lobby does sell these cute frames if you can't find them at a thrift store. I love, 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 love these. However, the price of them, this was $34, but it is half off. But if you can't find it at the thrift store, you have the option to buy it here at Hobby Lobby. They have all different sizes. I love the brass. They have it in white as well.
So
I absolutely loved this lamp. It definitely sparked the idea of creating a lamp with a brown glass bottle. However, I found out it's way more expensive to make your own lamp. You might as well just buy this one.
Here's like that rust tone, kind of like.
They also had these black matte vases that were pretty inexpensive that you could totally get half off, and then add a little bit of scuffed up white paint on there and create those cute age vases that Joanna Gaines has out right now. This would be perfect for making a little stool. It's 40% off right now, so it'll only be about $6. And always check the clearance section as well here at Hobby Lobby because you're always going to find something. This was a really unique shape. I love the fluted design on it. This also, I figured, ooh, I could make something in that Target line with this. I will show you guys that later in the video. So let's go ahead and get home and see the stuff I got. Alright guys, so we're back from Hobby Lobby and I wanted to show you guys the things I picked up. I also go to Dollar Tree, so let's get into what I picked up and which project we're going to be creating. I found at Hobby Lobby was only $2.49, wood base with a seal. Another item I picked up was a remnant, this right here. It's like a lightish muted blue striped with like an off-white, and I got it's duck cloth fabric, 45 by 36 inches. I paid $6. And this could make plenty of, like, I could do pillow covers with this. That's a really nice color. Let's find out what I do with it. These were probably my favorite find at Hobby Lobby. I just thought they were so cute. So they are just the stem. I thought it was baby's breath, but I really don't know. You get 3 like pieces per stem. They were $5.99, but they were half off of that. So that was a pretty good deal. I figured I could just put these in a vase, and this would definitely look high-end and kind of like inspired from the Target Studio McGee line. Alright, so another thing I had picked up from Hobby Lobby. So there is a decor piece I want to recreate, and I bought a bunch of these snakes from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to show you guys how. I have 5 of them total, and they were kind of broken, like pieces of them were broke. Typically they're about $2, but because they all were broken, they gave them to me for 80 cents. So I got all of them for 80 cents. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm going to be doing with these. Some other fabrics that I picked up, I wanted to create my own versions of some of their pillows. It's a lot cheaper just to get your own fabric and make your own pillow covers and slap it like right over your pillow that you've already have. This one, which I showed you guys in the store when we went shopping. So here are the 2 that I'm going to pair together and do a reversible pillow cover. And then I also picked up this really nice rust, it's like a orangey brown tone, like this rust color, and it's textured with like this corduroy. I don't know, I love it. It's so pretty. They're very neutral and like earthy, I would say. Another item I found at Hobby Lobby that I thought would probably go in this collection. So they had these really cute arched marble bookends. They're like $25 for the set. And they also had this glass fluted candle. So I found something that's, fluted. It's also arched. Originally $14.99, but these were on sale for $3.75 a piece. So I got 2 of them to kind of like make my own bookends that are arched and fluted. So I thought those would be interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna do much to these, or I don't know yet. I got this pot from a thrift store. It was about $6, give or take. And you can find these at antique shops, roughly between 10 to 20 bucks. So I would check your thrift stores first for this. Made in USA. This is a vintage little crock pot with handles. I figured I could use this because this shape and the handles and everything kind of just goes with the new fall collection for Studio McGee. So I'm gonna actually just pop in these little guys here. So I'm gonna cut them down to size and then pop them on in there. I'm just gonna cut straight across because they already stagger up here. So I'll just cut them off, and then I'll be able to take my pot and set them in the pot like this. So I might put some foam down in here and then poke these guys into place. Almost looks real, like fresh flowers that just kind of droop and hang right into this large pot. Or you could put this on your kitchen island. I think that would look good as well. It's gorgeous. It's so cute. Now the next project I wanted to try and dupe was this teak wood chain figurine going for $25. And how I plan on recreating this chain link made from wood. I'm actually using wood. It's a wooden snake, the ones I showed you that I got from Hobby Lobby for about 80 cents a piece. I know Dollar Tree does carry these snakes, so keep your eyes peeled for them. I'm actually going to be cutting off the head and the tail. And then I'm just going to be pulling both sides together just to create a circle just like this. Once I have all 5 snakes completed, I'm going to glue one end of the snake to the other to complete that circle. Once that's hot glued and secured in place, I can then attach another one through this circle. I'm going to use clamps to clamp them down so that it will hold it while it dries. I'm going to go ahead and complete this so that it makes up that chain. Now that that's completed, I can remove my clamps. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in those cracks from where it was originally a snake. And we'll just fill those in using caulk. I did try using a little bit of toilet paper just to push in there because I knew this was going to take a lot of the silicone caulking. So I didn't want to like use all of that. So I just shoved toilet paper in there. I hope that makes sense. Once I had a good couple rounds, I just went ahead, started to smear the caulking all over the place just to really fill in those gaps. Alright, I went ahead and let this dry. I did actually go over this with a layer of paint already, but I'm just showing you guys the sandpaper if you want, and just like smooth it out. I do want to point out I actually really like it this color, so now it's time to paint it. What do you guys think? Do you like it this white tone? Would you have left it, or would you have painted it to match that teak wood?
I wanted to show you guys a different method in case you did not want to use cinnamon to add to your matte black vase. You can also just get some orange colored paint, water it down, and just slap it all over. And I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do that. Okay, inside of this, I just have a little bit of water going on. And then I'm just going to add in a little bit of the paint. That's probably enough. We'll just mix this together. So it's just a watered down orange tone. And then I'm just going to paint this directly on to this vase. It's probably going to drip like this, but that's fine. The key to doing this trick is to not fully paint every surface. Just kind of go like that in random areas. Get it over those textured areas right there. And obviously we don't want drips. That's not good. So once we have it and it starts dripping, just take your brush and slowly kind of keep going over it until you're happy with the result. I want to point out that if you hold your vase or whatever and go in this direction and hold it sideways, the paint is going to drip this way and you can kind of smear it out a little bit better. It's going to look a little bit more natural than if you were to let it dry this way. You'll have like these drips that don't look good. As it's drying, you can see it's creating these like lines and texture with the paint, which is good because it kind of resembles that ceramic or pottery feel. And again, you have to go in this direction with the brush strokes and just smear those drips out, blend them in. Okay, as that's drying, see this little area here? We can create these kind of organic rust shapes. Dip your brush into some solid paint, stick it on there however you want. There's like a little rust line. So you can also get some on like your finger and then just kind of press it into the vase. It didn't really stick. Once it's pressed in, then you can rub it out and it will kind of leave this imprint like that. All right, well, you can just keep messing with it. I'm going to wipe some of this off because it's a bit too much orange. Like I said, you don't want to go over the whole entire thing. And just to create a bit more texture within the piece, I just dip my brush into some white paint and I'm just lightly running it in different directions on the piece so it gives it like that really rustic feel, like it has a few scratches or something on the piece. So it was looking a bit too orangey, so the last step I did was just go back over it very lightly with the chalkboard spray paint. I think that kind of just disguises a lot. I mean, you can see where I sprayed these little dots, but it does add this really fun texture to the vase. I think this looks pretty good. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Alright, so I found this really cute glass jar vase, whatever you want to call it, for a couple dollars at Salvation Army. I loved the shape. I think I'm gonna turn this into like a dupe from Target's Studio McGee threshold line. I'll insert a picture here. I think it's beautiful. I've seen it on the Lone Fox's channel. I've seen it in other people's hauls. It's about $35 for the vase. This is a bit smaller than that one. However, I think it'll work. It has the same shape, same basic thing going on. The only thing I don't like is these lines right here on the glass, so I could totally smooth this out, but I don't really know if I'm going to or not. I think I'm just gonna paint this. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is spray paint it with this color here, Satin Aqua, and then from there we will do some more coloring and texturizing on this piece. In order to still use it, I might have to turn it over like that so I don't get any spray paint in the inside of the vase. Oh wow. So this color was not exactly what I was wanting, so I found this at Walmart. It is Satin Sate Blue. Such a pretty color. It's like this gray blue, what I'm looking for. I went ahead and re-spray painted this. I might have to do another coat, finish this off. I'm gonna put some newspaper inside. That way I can spray the rim as well to match. Alright, now it's time for the fun part, the texturizing. I used some black chalkboard spray paint. At a distance, I just kind of spritzed it all over the vase to give that subtle texture. Once I was done, I went back over it lightly and misted some more of the slate blue just to blend everything in. This is how it turned out. I think it is so gorgeous. So here is this piece. So what I plan to do with this piece is actually remove the little dog hanging piece. I am going to keep that and save it for a different project for later on in life. Put it in my craft stash. Anyways, I need to fill these holes, so we're just going to use silicone caulk. I apparently love this stuff. I use it in almost every project anymore. So go ahead and just push those into the holes. Make sure it's smooth, let it dry, and then we can go ahead and move on to painting. Here it is all dry. We are going to be using satin oregano. I don't know if I said that right. I don't care. Moving on. Just go ahead and do light coverage. Let it dry. Do another coat. That's the way to do with spray painting. You do too heavy, it's just going to look droopy and not good.
The next dupe that I wanted to try was this cute little like rusted looking vase.
Something else I found from Dollar Tree was this jug, just a water container. So I figured I really liked the shape. It's pretty large. It's probably about 7 or 8 inches tall. So the first thing I'm going to do is obviously take off the lid so we can make this a vase. And I'll save the lid for a different project, or, you know, I'll come up with something, put it in my craft room for now. So the bottom piece, we'll have to take this out as well, and then we'll see what I end up doing to create a nice vase. We have to make sure that this will, you know, resemble the Threshold Studio McGee line. I can do something with this. I really like the shape of it, so let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is actually put some tape around that hole that we just popped out. And then we're going to be putting concrete inside of this. This is just to give the piece some weight. That way when you lift it up, it feels like a heavy vase. And it won't like tip over or anything if you put stuff inside of it. That should be good. I already put some concrete in it, but I do want to fill it up to about right here. That way this will be like pretty heavy and it won't like tip over. I think that's pretty good. Feels pretty heavy. This is still kind of drying right now, but it's dry enough to the point I can actually work on the outside. I'm going to be using this silicone caulk that we've used. I'm going to use the rest that I have on hand. So basically I'm just going to go around and put a fine layer of this pretty actually chunky layer over the entire outside of it. And you guessed it, we are going to be doing like a textured kind of surface to create this really nice high-end looking vase. Alright, I went ahead and covered the entire thing. I want to point out I did do the top lip as well because we had all those weird lines from where the lid would screw on. So now I'm going to get my hand really wet and just slowly smooth all of this out. I'll just have to keep dampening my finger and going over this. This part will just kind of smear this in more. And we're basically just trying to blend where that pattern on the plastic was. I don't want to see that pattern, so I'm just kind of like going in these notches here, these grooves right there to fill that in. And then on the flat surface right here, it's just like texture. So just do that. But I think it's okay if you have these weird indentations. You can always go back over it again once this dries if we need to. We can also add toilet paper in here to create that texture. Well, I'm trying to make this like as seamless as possible. It looks like it's always been like a vintage kind of pot. So now I'm gonna go grab some toilet paper and we'll do that little trick. So I think it is time to paint this baby. I got a lot of silicone all over there. I think once we start painting it, it's gonna look a lot better. I'm gonna show you guys, I put about 3 layers of the silicone just to really fill in those lines that were here. Trying to make this as smooth as possible. I do like the little random divots all over the place. That's just gonna add to that texture. So in order to get more texture, I'm going to be just mixing up this container. It has a little bit of water already in it, like it's damp. I'm mixing in my favorite color I got from Michael's. It's called Cayenne. It's this orangey tone. This is going to give us that rust color that we just love. To make this a bit more deeper, I'm adding in this red oxide from Dollar Tree. I think this will really add in that rust color that I'm going for. As well as, this is also from Michael's. It's called Moss Green. I've used this in many projects as well. You could find similar colors at Hobby Lobby. I think that's going to add to that brown color I'm going for. So I'm going to start mixing these colors up. There's a little bit of water in there, like I said. This should create a really pretty brown, orangey brown tone that's going to resemble the rust vase that we're creating. That's really, really pretty. I think that's a good color. We'll just go with that. I'm going to add in some baking soda as well. I'm trying to do about half and half ratio, like our piece. So you guys can see, we're going to be doing thin layers. Our first layer needs to be fairly thin. I think this color is really nice. As we do this first layer, we do want to make sure we get into all those little teeny holes and stuff that we created with the texture of the toilet paper, the silicone. So I'm going to go ahead and do a thin layer all the way around. So I wanted to show you guys, I actually went ahead and picked up one of these large vessels. They finally got it in stock at Target. This was only about $25. It is so heavy, very substantial, it's so large. It's probably like 9 or 10 inches tall. I don't even know what to do with it, but I really like this for fall. So pretty. Right now I have it on this old stool just sitting right here. So let's get over here and check out my version of this piece. So obviously you can tell it's not quite the same color. Also, it doesn't look as good or as authentic, but you can still see some cool little indentations in here. And overall, this piece is really heavy because we added that cement inside of there. And then I just got a couple different picks from Dollar Tree and popped them in there. And I think this looks super cute. Don't really like it styled up here, but I had to put it somewhere to show you guys. All right, let's move on to the next project. So I'm also going to be using this little oval mold here. This will create a cute little tray. I actually practiced this with some resin and concrete. Once those are dry, I will show you what I did with those. But that was like for a whole different video that I probably won't post, so I'll just show you the results here in this video. Here are the pieces I wanted to show you where I used the same tray I was talking about, that little mold. I created this really cool tray with resin and concrete. So I first originally tried it with the concrete. It broke into pieces. I just popped the pieces back into place and then poured resin around it. While the resin was still setting, I popped in some of these really pretty leaves that I got from last fall. And I just think it looks so beautiful. This looks somewhat expensive, like these trays might cost a pretty penny. I mean, obviously you could do it a lot better than what I did. But this just to show you that you reuse that mold over and over. And I think that these projects is what end up scratching that mold I was telling you about. Something happened. The concrete had broke. So I'm hoping the next time around, this time around, when I show you guys the concrete mold, when I pop it out, I hope that it works okay. So we're going to find out together. But I made these two so pretty. I just want to show you guys those. These would be really fun to put in your bathroom, and they could hold your soap or whatever. You could hold your jewelry on these, just these cute little trays. So I recommend buying one. I'll leave a link down below where I got my mold. I did pick it up off of Amazon for about $6-7, and you can reuse that silicone mold over and over for so many projects. You can make these little concrete trays, resin trays, whatever you want to make. I do know that Hobby Lobby sells this. I think it comes in a pack though. Anyways, I'm going to be using this same mold here. Now my mold, this is ruined. because I don't know exactly how, but somehow I have scratches and stuff all over this mold, and I tried washing it and it's still there. So because of that, the resin will stick and it won't dry completely. So instead, I'm going to be just using concrete in this. It should dry just fine with concrete. I'm going to try it out. I always wear gloves working with concrete just because I know that it can dry your skin out. Another precaution to take is to use moisturizer in your hands before touching the concrete. That way that those particles won't dry your hands out. Anyways, let's move on. So I'm gonna mix up the concrete here in this bowl, and then we'll just pour it into this and lay this flat to dry. Once it's done drying, then we can do our fun stuff and create whatever we want. This was inspired by a piece I saw here. I'll show it right here. It was like this little stone dish, maybe a soap dish or something. I thought it was super cute, so I figured we'll make our own version of it. When I mix concrete, I like to use a fork because the prongs help like push all the little particles. I mean, you could totally use a drill and a concrete mixer on the end of your drill if you want to do it that way, but I don't have one of those. So I'm just making it work. That's pretty good. And I like using this plastic bowl I got from Dollar Tree because the concrete sticks together and slides. See how, what I mean? It slides right out of the bowl. It's so like weird. Just pour this in. And you might have to like press it into the mold on the sides just to make sure the concrete pieces are getting into that. That was actually enough concrete. I just love working with concrete. Alright, so that fits the mold pretty good actually. I don't need to mix up anymore. I'm just pressing into the edges here on the side, making sure that the concrete got down in there, because it could fill up with air bubbles and the water will dry out, creating a hole. So we want to push it down into the sides a little bit. I can already see air bubbles coming out. Okay, so once it's kind of there, then we can kind of jiggle it a little bit. This will help release the air bubbles that are stuck to this big one. Oh my goodness. It might create a cool texture if you leave the air bubbles. It is the next day. I am gonna go ahead and pop this out. Let's see what happened. We'll just simply turn it over and it should just slide right out. You just grab these pieces and here we are. I gotta carefully do it. There we go. Beautiful. So this turned out a lot better than my first couple rounds, as you saw with the cracks in the resin one, but I made it work because of the resin. But this one, and you can see where some of the air bubbles still got caught. Honestly, it's fine. It adds a little bit of cool texture. And you really don't even need to sand this. So I was thinking I could probably paint this to make it look like soapstone, or we could leave it. It's beautiful the way it is. So I do think it's still drying on the back. I'm not too sure, but this is so pretty. So right now I'm actually working on this. I guess it was a hand towel. Obviously got it from Target in the hearth and hand section. So anyways, so what I did was actually fold the piece into thirds. So I have this pattern in the middle. As you can see, the backside is all white, and here is how it is into thirds. Let me show you on this side a little bit better. Oh, there's the little piece to hang the hand towel, but it's basically folded into thirds. Like we have one end here, comes around so that this part's in the middle. The back side folds up against it like this. So it has about 2 inches or so from the end there. So I pinned it on this side. I'm gonna sew just a single line here, right here. This is technically turned inside out, When we turn it inside out, you'll see what I mean. But basically, we're just going to sew along this line right here. We're not going to go over this because this is a whole chunk right here. I'm just going to cut that off. So I'm going to give myself a good inch or so. So right here along this line, all the way down, I'll cut that off, and then I'll put my insert, kind of measure where my insert's gonna go. I'm actually going to be reusing this project I did back a while back on my channel. I'm just gonna insert this into that. So we're basically making a cover for this. Gonna do a back stitch, then keep going. Take this out. I can feel with my fingers right here, there's like a lump. That's where this thickness on the sides is on the back side. So once I go over that lump, I'm gonna have to do a back stitch. Okay, I'm gonna go back over it, just to make sure that it is nice and tight right there. Okay, my other like lump is gonna be right here at the very end. Well, not, it's close to the end, but not quite. Once I get there, I'll do another back stitch. Kind of marked it with a pin just so I knew kind of where it was gonna be, but you can feel it through the fabric. Back over it. And then another back stitch at the end. Cut off our excess. Now I have to cut off the excess. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So that should be nice when we turn it inside out. So I went ahead and measured from this side inwards, and I just sewed right here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this excess off. Then my new pillow cover will pretty much be complete. I just have to turn it inside out. And then I have this flap from the back because we folded it into thirds. And then there's another flap in here. So it's kind of like an envelope situation. Once I turn this inside out, we can stuff our stuffed pillow inside, and this will be good to go. One thing I did do was cut the corners off. That way when you fold it inside out, it just appears a bit better at the corner. It just points out a bit better. I turned it inside out, and I guess the tag is still there on it, which is kind of cool because it just makes it look like this was always supposed to be a pillow cover. Didn't even realize that, but on the other piece that I did cut off, the other end, it had this little guy, which I am thinking I might take it off with the seam ripper and use it on the pillow cover, just so you know this used to be a hand towel. I don't know, we'll see what I do with that. Or I could just use this piece for a different project, I don't know. And here we are. It looks so good. I really do enjoy the tag being on it still. This is just a really cute lumbar pillow, I guess, cover we did with the hand towels. I'm loving it up against the green. So this is the one that if you flip it over, we have this. So pretty. Then I also picked up this, was on clearance, this fabric from Hobby Lobby. I love the green pinstriped green with the rust. It's so pretty. Our next Target dupe is very simple. We're basically just getting an object and spray painting it. I found this challenge your mind little brain teaser puzzle piece. We're just gonna open this up, glue all the pieces together so they hold down in place and it doesn't come apart, and we're gonna spray paint it. That simple. So I'm just using this Crafter Square craft glue, and I just went around the seams and put glue everywhere and then pressed pretty firmly on every side, just making sure that it is put together pretty well. So like, I'll show you like this right here, I pressed on, then I pressed down, and then I pressed here, these sides together. I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit and dry. It shouldn't take too long, about 24 hours or so. So I had let that glue dry. It is completely solid now. It's not falling apart. It's a solid piece. So I'm just going to spray paint it. I'm going to be using this color. It is called Slate Blue. This is the color I used for a vase that I'm also making. We're just going to lightly coat this piece and do it in sections to get every little crack. So I will let that dry and do another coat.
This next project is basically trying to come up with our own version of this painting. Look at the price. It's honestly not terrible. It's a large piece. Remember we saw that together? I actually got this from the trash. My work threw it out, so I went ahead and took it home. They're just remodeling, doing new stuff, you know. So anyways, if you can find something for free, maybe off Marketplace that someone's trying to get rid of, I recommend grabbing it. Old canvas like this, we could totally work with it. So we're going to create that really nice piece we saw at Target. We're just going to repaint this, so let's get to it. I'm going to be using this large paintbrush, and then I'm using some of this paint. I actually had got this as a sample to paint my walls, and the color didn't match right. It's this really light gray tone. I thought that'd be perfect for this project. I learned a trick. If you can't open up something, you just pound on it like this. Seems kind of weird, right? And then you lift up with your fingers, like lift, and it should just twist right off. That kind of loosens up this paint that got stuck around. So that's a cool hack I learned on my own. So I'm also going to be mixing in white. I'm going to paint the entire thing first, and then I'll add in colors and just kind of play around with it. Messing with
you guys, look how gorgeous this looks. I absolutely love this piece. I think it's so pretty. It's kind of a gloomy day, so there's not much natural lighting going on, but you can see the green, how it blends in with a little bit of white over here. We have a warmer tone up here. It's like this muted reddish yellow, almost brown kind of color. I don't know. And then some more white over here. This is so pretty. I feel like the camera is not picking up how pretty this is. And I love all the little strokes and the texture it just gives. It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. This definitely looks very expensive. I will go ahead and show those results in just a minute. Let's move on to this project. It's just a weathered little crock vase. This next project, I don't think I ever showed you guys this on my channel, but I bought this from Dollar General for $4. It's a color burst utensil holder. They might have them on sale now because this was like a summer item that they had. So maybe they're on clearance. Check your Dollar General. We're creating a little cute pot with handles. Let me show you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be using a belt I got from the thrift store for 50 cents. This will be like the handle part. Let's get to it. So for the handles, I know I'm going to be like doing one of these situations. I'm just making like 2 of them like this, but I'm thinking I might actually do 4 for this project because you always see the 2-handled vase. I want to do 4. Might as well, I have the belt to use it. So I'm thinking like something like that. I just don't know how I'm going to attach it. Exactly. So I cut 4 strips about the same size. They're about 4 inches in length. I curved out the edges and I'm gonna attach them by putting one side face down like this towards the top, and then the other will be kind of bent a little bit more flat like this. So I'm just gonna glue these onto the piece, and then I'm gonna just take we'll take something, a product, and cover it. All right, so I'm gonna be using a combination of hot glue and E6000 glue. So I know that this belt is really gonna stick pretty well to this pot. We'll call it a pot, because we are basically making a pot from this utensil holder jar thing, okay? So I'm gonna get my pieces prepared. We're just doing this to really like make them flexible so that they'll already be like in position once I glue this on like that. So just making this like S, backwards S kind of motion with these pieces. I think it'd be easiest to put the dab of hot glue, mix in this glue, and then just kind of place it on there and press. Alright, so I finally got them to stay. I used 3 different glues and they're still kind of drying. I used the hot glue, E6000, and the glue from Dollar Tree. It's just the craft glue. So all of that is holding it together right now. Now, obviously this looks kind of bad with the glue, but we're going to be doing a little bit of texture all over this. I'm going to blend this right in with a different product. So I was thinking, I found it, you guys. It's the Dollar Tree's lightweight spackle. It fills cracks and holes in one step. So let's just pry it open and ouch, shoot. Let's get to work. So we have these little holes here. We're just gonna put the spackle right over the holes. We want this all over the pot too. Doesn't seem to stick to the belt very well. Now that I have like a little bit of texture going on from that spackle, as well as I did go in and use some of the silicone just to kind of fill in where the glue was, so it kind of blended this in a bit better. So now I'm going to start painting it, and we're going to be using that baking soda method. So I went ahead and mixed up some white paint, well as a little bit of this light gray. I did about half and half, and then after I mixed those together, I did about 1-to-1 ratio with the baking soda and paint. I added in just a small amount of water, just a little drizzle, just to make sure this was liquidy enough, not too thick, but you can see it's pretty thick. So I'm starting to paint it on here. This is what it's looking like so far. We want to do like super thin layers and work our way up. So once I get this one layer on, let it dry. I'll do probably 2 more layers after that, and then we'll see how it's looking. I kind of like the way this looks. It definitely makes it look like an old pot, does it not? Look at this, it looks like a handle. So I'm obviously making sure I get the inside of that handle, as well as the top around here, just so it kind of looks seamless. And this baking soda method is gonna add some texture. I'm gonna go in the same direction. I'll just keep going in that direction. That's also gonna give the appearance of like a pottery piece. All right, I'm gonna continue off camera. I'll let this layer dry. I'll do 2 more layers, so about 3 layers altogether, very thin layers. I just wanted to show you, this is what it will look like with a thin coat. You'll still be able to see some of the design from that previous, previous pot, whatever, previous design on there. So that's how thin you want your first layer. You're doing super thin layers. I went ahead and just did the inside as well, just so the whole piece looks like an authentic little cute little pot. I'm super excited for this to turn out. I think this looks pretty good the way it blends in. Doesn't look too harsh, like a weird line or something. Just a cute little bump. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Here are a few more pieces I really enjoyed from this fall collection. I definitely think they could be worth trying to dupe. However, if you have the money, I would go ahead and just buy these pieces. They're gorgeous. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it or got inspired in some way to create your own fall decor. Consider subscribing to my channel. I make home decor, household DIY projects, shopping hauls, vlogs, and more. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.